500. We always lean up on numbers. So we say there was nearly 500. There was almost 500. Not 402. 403. You know, it's almost 500. That's the way we promote it, okay? And there were very few empty seats, and it was really impressive. And I thought that the speakers did very good. Very good. I liked the way that the program flowed. The order that you did things in. You know, when the elite women walked on stage, that was the best part for me. I have always been about empowering women all my life, and I came here worried that I didn't have a program, you know, that could do that. And so I was wrong. We've got powerful women all over the world, and it's really exciting to see that, and especially young, powerful women, because you have lots of time to learn and to grow and to you know, become better and better and better. Everything compounds better over time. Even fine wine is better the older it gets, right?
True.
It's the same with everything like that. So what I wanted to have opportunity to talk to you tonight about was game plan for Portugal. I met with Francisco, a gentleman today, with Ruben from Angola. Angola, you know, and I open the countries. I'm the one that opens the countries, and I lay it out. I give them the game plan, and I want to do that for Portugal. You know, what's really nice is when there was only, who was the first person here to hear about Cuvera? Ruben, first person from Bruno, right? First person. Now compounding, understand what compounding is, right?
Compensar.
Yeah.
Ah, sim, sim, sim.
It's compounding is hard with one. One does not compound very good. Two compounds really good. But when you have just one person, it takes longer to get to 100 than it does to get to 1,000. The first 100 is the hardest part.
True.
Once you get 100, then you say, how do we get 200? Each person bring one. Each person bring one, you have 200. How do we get 400? Each person bring one more. How do we get 800? Each person bring one more. You see how simple it is?
Yeah.
You see, sometimes we make it way, way, way too hard, too difficult. It's a simple business if we understand the power of compounding numbers. In other words, how fast an organization can double is nothing more than a mindset. It's just simply how we think, right? When I was on stage last night, I said, you know, I can tell you exactly how to have 1,000 people in a room 7 days from now. Remember that? Yeah. I have done that many, many times. You know that. I have done it many times. So it's not just talk, it's something I've done a lot. And the way you do that is you get everybody in the room on the same page. Everybody in the room with the same goal. Very simple goal. It's like I said in leadership training. Everybody just bring two, right? Everybody just bring two and you fill the room. Well, now we've got, say, 500 people in that room. Let's say 400. It was realistically, there's 400 people there, right? 400. Bruno likes to do it that way. He gets confused when I say 400, so he says 400. So last night we had 400, right? And so to get 800 people in a room, we just have to say, okay, we are a team. See, we build as a team. We don't build as individuals. You know, you don't build your group, and you don't build your group, and you don't build your group. We build together. Because when you have big meetings, momentum is created. It goes boom, just like that. Boom. See, it's energy. How do you get momentum? You do a lot of activity in a short time frame. Lots of activity in a short time. That creates momentum. when you have, let's say you recruit 12 people, 1, 2. Let's say you recruit 1, 2 people, okay, 12 people, 1 person a month for 12 months. 1 person a month for 12 months. Or you recruit 12 people in 1 month. At the end of the year, what do you think the difference is? Thousands versus a dozen, a few. When you recruit 1 person a month, momentum never happens. And so it's hard, difficult to build when you do not have momentum. Everybody understand what momentum is? What's the word?
Momentum.
Oh, okay, well, we're pretty close then, okay.
It's the same.
Oh, that's good, okay, perfecto.
Momentum é tipo criar tipo atividade, é tipo criar tipo
boom.
Yeah, boom. Adrenalina.
If we get into some difficult subjects, let's have Bia step in and explain a little bit better if you guys get confused as I go through it, okay? So you tune in when you think it's time for me to stop.
Do you want
and
me
talk.
to translate if it's easier for everyone? Okay.
It would take a lot more time if
Yeah.
I say that I
Double
talk
time.
slow, and if you have questions, whisper to the person next to you and get the translations,
Yep.
okay? We're not gonna be here a long time tonight.
Yes.
Way too hot in here. Okay, we're not going to be here a long time, but what I wanted to do was to have an opportunity to help you understand momentum. How do we take? See, I did the same thing for France. We're in France, and I said, okay, how do we take this from 500 people to 1,000? How do we take it from 1,000 to 2,000? And then we had 2,500 people show up to a meeting. 2,500. Okay. Do you know what it's like to stand on stage with 2,500 people?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It is so fun. I mean, you can't even see it. They're so far out. It's just like you're in a soccer stadium. It's unbelievable. And in June they're going to have 5,000. 5,000. Right? 5,000 people. That's insane. The Mexicans have had 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 in a meeting. But now France is going there. And I expect Portugal to go there. With my help, you will do it. None of these countries have done this without my help. Because I know exactly what to do if I have people that will do it. Understand? So we've got to create momentum. So here we are at a very interesting place. We had an event last night with 400 people. Now what do? Sit back and say, oh man, we're great. No, you're great when you have 40,000 people, 4,000 in the room, right? That's when you say, wow, we've really done something. Because with 400 people in the room, a few people have rank. A few have rank. With 4,000 people in the room, hundreds of people have rank. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. You understand, right? Yeah. See, there's not one person in this room that in 90 days from now should not be platinum. If you do exactly what I'm talking about. Now, how much do you make a month of platinum? 4,500 a month?
Yeah.
Yep.
$4,300.
$4,500. That's probably what? 4,000 euros?
3,900.
399. Yeah, you've got it down, right?
Yeah.
Which is good money for someone your age, right?
Yeah.
That's good money.
Yeah.
That allows you to have a little bit of money for your business, pay your bills, drive a car that runs, and work to get to $9, $10, $30, $40, $50,000 or euros per month, right? And that's what I want you to do. We have a couple of premieres, right? We've got some business builders. We've got some executives. When I come back, okay, next week, I really am having a hard time leaving. I want you to know. I love you guys. This is it's like my favorite place. There's something special about you. You need to understand this, okay? There's something about the Portuguese culture that just I love. It matches me really well. You're very kind, very considerate, very loving people. And I want you to know that that's different than most countries that I go to, especially France. The French, you know, I mean, it's just the French. Now, our team is great. You get outside Cuvera and they're assholes, okay? And just like, what the hell, you know? Don't post that one. Anything I say about France, don't do that. That's our lead team right now. Okay, so. But I love our French team. I mean, they're the best organized, best business people right now in the company is in France, okay? Samba is amazing. Max and Mohammed are amazing, okay? 20 and 21-year-olds, elite presidentials. A 30-year-old icon. I mean, this is, and they've been here 1 year. So you've been here like 5 months or so. Let's say in a year from now we can do what France did. Do you think we can do it?
Yep.
I know
We'll
we
do better.
can.
Much bigger.
I know we can, but we got to do a lot to do that because they're good. But I want you guys to lead the charge out there, and I would take it as a personal compliment if we did that. It makes me feel good when I see that happen. They need competition, or they get arrogant. They get, oh, I'm cool. I'm French. You're like going. But you have the culture. You have the family, familiar. You have a family feel. I'm a family guy. I'm the oldest of 11 children. So when I grew up, there was, this was our dinner table, just kids. And I was the oldest. It's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. So here's the thing I'm going to tell you the things to watch out for. The things to be aware of, okay? Jealousy within your group. Competition. Bad competition, you know. What I mean by that is, you know, when somebody gets a rank advancement, you hate that because it makes you feel small. Now make sure all of you understand me. This is very important, okay? Okay.
Inveja.
Bia, when I make a really important point, I want you to translate, okay?
Okay.
What did I just say?
Jealousy and bad competition.
Okay, now translate this. When somebody gets a rank advancement, see, this is one team, not a lot of teams. One team, we build as one team, right? It's just like in sports. You build as a team, but you build your personal, individual skills too. So, when somebody gets rank, there are some people who hate them because they're jealous. It happens all the time. You can't have that. Now, I just told you right ahead of time. I told you so that doesn't happen. When somebody gets a rank advancement, and it's better or faster than you be happy for them.
Basicamente, quando alguém avança de rank, sobe o rank, há pessoas na equipa, ou pode haver pessoas na equipa que sentem mal com elas mesmas e sentem-se invejosas e mal por a pessoa atingir esse rank. E isso não pode acontecer, isso é má competição. É o que
Temos que ficar felizes.
Temos que ficar felizes por a nossa equipa avançar, porque nós somos um só com a nossa equipa, não somos só nós a trabalhar nisto. Apesar de ser preciso
It's
desenvolver
good to be
também.
competitive, but it's bad to be jealous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not even competitive, it's called the comparison game.
Yes.
Comparison. You're comparing yourself against someone else, and they're doing better faster, and it makes you feel small. And so you don't like that feeling, so you feel jealous that they are succeeding faster than you. Guys, listen. Everybody's going to advance at their own pace. Pace means speed, okay? Everybody advances at their own speed. But what I do know is sometimes people that advance very quickly, in a year's time, the person that's slow is ahead of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes like this all the time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
See, until it's 5 years from now, don't even think about it. You just put your head down, you go to work every single day. Every day you work. Work, work, work. Invite, invite, invite. Every single day. And 3 to 5 years from now, you reevaluate where you are. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
By the way, you do not evaluate where you are in a week or 2 weeks
Just like you invest.
or 4. Yeah, it's the same as the investments. That's exactly right. But your age group has a tendency to do that. You know that. You have no patience. You want everything right now. My generation, Ruben's parents' generation, they worked for 30 years or 40 years to have a store like this where they can retire on just enough money to pay their bills at some point. That's what my generation thinks. You guys, if you're not driving a $200,000 car in 6 months, you think you're a loser. Social media has changed the way that life is perceived, that you see life.
Yeah.
Okay? I still see life the same way I did 30 years ago. And so I teach you to have patience, work hard every single day, doing the income producing activities. That's inviting people to hear about our program.
Yeah.
There's only one work that pays you, only one thing that pays you. That's inviting people to see the program. That's it. Reading self-improvement books, going to cool websites, learning marketing techniques, looking at the back office, learning the compensation plan, learning about the products. All of those are non-income producing activities. Non. You don't make money doing that. The only thing you make money at doing is once you know that stuff, opening your mouth and asking somebody to look at it. That's how you make money. And the more times you do that, the more money you make. The top ranks will be the people who do that the most. It's just really simple. Very, very simple, guys. And so you've got to get good at inviting. Let's get into that just a little bit, into the invitation process. 2 things you should train your people on. Only 2, really. You should spend 90% of your time teaching your people only 2 things. Number 1, how to invite. Number 2, how to build. There's a difference between recruiting and building. Recruiting is one-dimensional. In other words, you recruit 1, 2, 3, 4 people. That's it, right? Building means you turn those 2 or 3 people into hundreds of people by recruiting their people and their people and their people and their people. Builders drive the lines. We call it drive the lines. Can you guys say that with me?
Drive the lines.
What that means is that you go down through the organization to find the good people, no matter where they are, no matter what level they're on, and you work with those people. You find the best. That's how I built this. That's how this happened. When I say I built this is how I started it, okay? Is I drove the lines till I found the big leaders. Listen, think about it. There was only me. Now you got Bruno in Brazil. You got Anthony Napolitano. You got you guys here. You got Samba over here. You see? I did it. I built. I'm a builder. I went down the lines till I found the right people. Then I invested time and money into those people until they got as good or better than I was at the invitation process. And then I can step away and they just explode and make money, right? The company gets bigger, everybody makes more money, everybody rank advances. It's pretty simple. You got to learn to build. I have recruited less people than almost anybody in 5 years. Less. 22 total people. 22.
Yeah.
Only 3 are still here. So even me, okay, 18 people left. And you know what? How it made me feel when they left? Can you imagine how it made me feel when they left me? Didn't even think about it. Hey, good luck. Let me know how it goes for you. I know where I'm going. See, that's what it is. Who was it I was talking to earlier about the pond of water? Okay.
And Deborah. Me and Deborah.
Deborah's not here.
Yeah.
We were talking about a pond of water. You know what a pond is?
Yeah.
What's a pond?
It's like
Small
a
lake.
river. Yeah, é tipo
It's
lago.
not a river. It's a small lake. It's
Sim,
a
é
round
lago.
body of water.
Yeah.
A pond. A small pond of water. We call it pond. A small lake. Like a small lake, right? And that small lake or pond of water, for it to be healthy and not have algae and disease and all these things, you have to have water, new water coming in and old water going out, right? That's your organization. Now let me warn you, 95% of the people in network marketing spend 90% of their time trying to keep the water from going out of the lake. When you should ignore it, let the water go, Spend your time widening the river of new water coming into the pond, and it becomes a bigger and bigger lake, and then the ocean. See how it works? Pretty simple stuff. If somebody wants to leave, don't try to talk them out of it. Because if you do, they will complain at you forever because you're listening to them complaining. You do not make people winners. You do not make people successful. You find winners and you find successful people. You don't have time to let's say they're 25 years old. They've had 25 years. You can never make up for who they've become by you spending 2 weeks with them, 3 weeks with them, 2 months with them. You can't. So you want to find the right people. And so what I was telling Deborah is I said, look, and she asked me that question. I said, what do you have to do to get these people to do something? I said, you don't. You get other people. You find people that will do something. You find people that will do something. And you let the people who will not do anything leave. Don't try to stop them. If you keep them in the organization will not grow. You need fresh water, fresh people coming into this constantly, and people have to leave to make room for the good new people. Are you with me? Yeah. So don't ever feel bad. And sometimes she said, and I don't know if she said this, she made me feel like all of my people left. I said, that's because you didn't have anybody. So you had bodies, you thought you had something, and so you stopped doing the invitation. You stopped the personal recruiting and you decided to work with losers. People who are not going to produce. People who are not going to help you in your business. Are you with me? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So what you've got to do is you've got to find people who already want to win, already know how to commit, already know how to work, and then you just teach them and give them the tools to succeed. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Here's how you know. Now I'm not talking winners and losers as people. I'm talking about in our business, okay, from a business standpoint. People who can win or people who lose in our business. The difference, how do you tell? How do you know which is which? It's pretty simple. Challenge them. Ask them to do something. If they do it, they're in the winners column. If you have to keep calling them and they don't do it, they're in the losers column. Right? That's how it is. And so you challenge the winners again, you challenge the losers again. And if the people stop doing anything, you ignore them, forget about them, and you spend more time with the winners, the ones who are doing the things that you're challenging them with. Let me give you an example. I talk a little bit about my son that died 2 years ago. He was an amazing athlete, a massive college basketball and baseball player. I mean, he was an amazing kid. And when he was growing up, I coached him from the time they were this tall, all of my children, okay, 2 boys and 2 girls. Coached them all the way coming up. And he literally, when he was 8 years old, could play 1-on-5 in basketball and win. He could beat 5 other kids. He was so good. He was just, he could, he was unbelievable. He could handle the ball like nothing. And basketball is a big sport where we are, right? Well, I never coached him. Coming up, I coached all of the other kids that couldn't play basketball and just let him go because he was naturally good. Those other kids, by the time they got in upper grades, never even made the school teams, didn't even make the school teams. What would have happened if I would have spent more time with my son that deserved it coaching him rather than with the people who lost out and didn't even play the sport after a little while? Okay, this is one you got to understand. And translate this one for me, be the best you can. Spend your time with people that deserve it first, not with those that need it.
Passem mais tempo com as pessoas que merecem primeiro, não com aquelas que precisam.
The people that deserve it will ask for your time less than the people who need it.
As pessoas que merecem vão pedir menos pelo vosso tempo do que aqueles que precisam.
People that need it are always asking you to do everything.
As pessoas que precisam estão sempre a pedir-vos para fazer alguma coisa.
People that deserve it just go to work.
As pessoas que merecem estão simplesmente a ir para o trabalho e a
So
fazer.
identify who that is and coach them.
Então identifiquem quem é que eles são e treinem.
Unlike I did with my son.
Ao contrário do que o Rico fez com o
How
filho
much
dele.
better could he have been had I focused on him through coaching him for 6 or 7 years instead of all the other kids that didn't even end up playing basketball. Amazing, isn't it? See, I've learned a lot by getting old.
What's the difference between the people who deserve and the
Deserve and need?
Yeah.
Okay. The people that deserve it are the people who are working, who are doing what you challenge them to do. The ones who need it is your sister or your grandmother or your uncle that you want to help them, right? They need your help all the time because they can't do it on their own. Those are the ones that need it. See, you have to be strong first before you can help others. You have to be strong first before you can help others. Remember that. How many of you have seen somebody that needs help financially and they need money? Everybody. If you had the money, would you not write out the check and help them? Yes. Why didn't you do it? Because you didn't have the money. You're weak financially. You're not strong.
Yeah.
Truth, right? If you're strong financially, then you could help the weak, couldn't you? You got to be strong first. If you're going to be in the business, okay, you've got to help those people that are deserving of your time, that are working and doing the challenges that you give them, and help them become strong, and then they can help the weak. You see how that works? Through finding other strong people, though. You see, you got to spend 90% of your time working with the people who are going to be here 5 years from now. Not working with the people who are going to be gone in 2 weeks, right? That's how you build your business.
Yeah.
Think about this. You haven't been you're not a very old organization or team, but what if you never lost one person ever? And they paid their auto ship every single month. Would your check be bigger? It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Anthony right now would be making about $2 million a month instead of $120,000. But that's not realistic, is it? That doesn't happen like that. So stop worrying about it. That's my point. Stop worrying about it. The business is this. Now watch. You bring in 100 people, 100. I'm going to have so much fun with this. And I know you understand this. I'm just playing with you, okay? You bring in 100 people, 80 leave. You got 20. You bring in another 100 people, 80 leave. Now you have 40. You bring in another 100 people, 80 leave. Now you have 60. That's how you build your business, see? You build it with the 60, 80, 100, 120. You might have 400 people come in to have 100 people stay here a year from now. My early mentor, which became he was a high school football coach and became a billionaire in the 11 years that I worked with him every day. It was amazing to watch. Amazing to watch. I can't remember the point I was just making. I must be getting tired. What did I say right before that? Can you remember?
You bring in 100 people.
Oh, yeah. He said, he told me early on when I was 22, 23 years old, he said, Rick, if you do not understand the numbers business will run you out of business. If you don't understand the numbers business, the numbers will run you out of business. Say that.
Se vocês não entenderem o negócio dos números, os números irão pôr fora do negócio.
Because you're going to think you're doing something wrong. You think that when someone leaves, that you've done something wrong, or you should have done more. That's not true. You only can make yourself successful. You cannot make others successful. You can give them an opportunity, you can teach and train them, you can challenge them, but you cannot do it for them. Remember that. If they leave, it's their choice. It's not your fault. As long as you've done all you can do. Now, if they came in the business and you ignored them and they left, that's your fault.
Yes.
When somebody comes into business, you got to look at them as though they are 10,000 people in your organization. Because that's how many people, 3 generations deep, there is for you to solicit or for you to recruit, right? there's the person you recruit, they're 20, 30, 40. Each of those have 20, 30, 40. Each of those have 20, 30, 40. There's thousands of people, just 3 levels there, that you can recruit if you know how to drive the lines, right? You go from that person to that person to that person. You guys understanding me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I try to talk slow. I talk clearly, but it's still hard. If you came to America and spoke Portuguese, not one person would understand one word in the room. So congratulations to you for your English, okay? It's pretty amazing when I can speak English and have most people understand most of it, you know?
Now, do you need to open the door?
I'll take the jacket.
Yeah, take your jacket.
You can take the jacket off.
Huh?
Do you need the table for your seat? Yeah?
Yeah, let's do that. Woo, boy.
Uma cadeira, eu posso falar em cima dessa uma cadeira.
Em cima de uma cadeira.
Ela,
É pequenino?
Hey, it's not so hot anymore. It's not as hot as I thought it was. Have I got food on my shirt or anything? Yeah, probably chocolate or something, you know. He's in my room eating chocolate. Okay. I feel like I did in a shower or something. I'm wet. Okay, what was I just saying? Okay, you got to let the people go. What I'm saying is that when it's time for someone to go, let them go. Okay? Always wish them well. Let them know that the door is always open if they want to come back. But you are not in this business to babysit. You're in this business, thank you. You're in this business to be in business. Okay? And that's the first thing you got to understand. If you know you're in business, then you're going to handle it like a business. Let's say that you are an employer and you hire people as employees. If you have a bad employee, do you want to keep them? No, you want to get rid of them. You want to fire them, right? Yeah, thank you. If you have a bad employee. Well, in this business, they're not employees, but they take your time just like an employee, right?
Yep.
The ball just fine, thank you. So what you don't do thank you, sweetheart. My hands are too slick. I'm strong enough, really, I am. With my kids, when they grew up, they would hand me a jar to open, and I'd go, and I'd just click it where it was open. I go, I can't get it, you try. And they'd open, they go, hey! I'm the jar. And I still do it today. My kids are your age, right? They're like, they'll hand me a jar. They'll say, can you open that, Dad? And I go, I can't get it. I'll hand it back. They go, they know what I'm doing, you know. So anyway, that was in reverse. You just did it for me, so. Okay.
Ele não percebeu nada.
So in order for us to double the size of the organization, that's what we want to do, right? When I come back in however long it is, 60 days, 90 days, whenever I come back, okay? And I only come back when I'm invited, remember that. I never call up and say, can I come back?
Yeah.
I just sit by the phone and hope you call me, okay? So I don't invite myself because I don't want to be in the way either. I want to stay behind the scenes, help and support, and help when I'm asked to help. You guys understand that? That's what I do. I don't want to take the attention away from the leaders locally. I don't want it to be focused on Rick Robury, except for the time when I'm here and helping. But I'm in the business of promoting other people, not me. My name is my brand. My name is my brand, not ATM or KVA. See, that's what a brand is before your name becomes a brand. Once you become so successful, your brand is your name, like an artist or an athlete or something. Your brand is your name, right? My brand is Rick Robury. The industry knows Rick Robury, all right? And so I don't need to, I'm not trying to do anything more. I'm not a network marketer, I'm a businessman. This is a project I think can get a lot of good things done. That's why I did it. But I'm not truly a network marketer. I look at myself as a businessman, and this is just a great project. Just a great project. So, how many people in here are willing to commit to do twice as much as they've done in the past? The first thing we have to do is we have to get a commitment. Then what we do is we have to be accountable to each other for that commitment. What does that mean? Let me give you an example. In my financial service days, I had offices and we sold insurance and investments and mortgages. And I would have a meeting at my office at 5 a.m. in the morning, very early in the morning. And we would challenge each other for the day. And then at the end of the day, we'd meet back in the office and report to each other what we had done. Pia?
I didn't heard.
You weren't listening at all?
No, I was writing. Sorry, just this little
I
part.
can't remember what I said now.
You were talking about your financial services. I just didn't learn.
No.
didn't-
What, it's being accountable to someone. Okay?
Being
Accountable. In other words, when I work, I have to tell you that I'm working, and I know I got to tell you, so I work so I can tell you that I worked.
Being accountable é tipo estar disponível para alguém e deixar as pessoas saberem que nós estamos disponíveis para eles e para poderem trabalhar connosco, basicamente.
E estar
E é
comprometido.
quando tu estás comprometido, eu estou comprometida
Yeah,
contigo.
a trabalhar contigo, exato. Pronto.
Sim.
É estar comprometido com alguém, no fundo.
Ok.
Isso vai acabar a que horas?
11.
Okay? So I used, in my financial service day, I used to have all of my representatives come to the office first thing in the morning. Then we would say, set our goals for the day. Then we'd all go out and work. And we'd meet again that night and tell each other our successes and failures. We accounted to each other. That's what that word is. We accounted to each other. You need to be accountable to each other, not just yourself. You know how easy it is to stay home and not work when nobody knows about it? What if everybody on the team knew you were staying home and not working? How does that make you feel? It's different, isn't it? Especially if you've committed to do something and you're not doing it. So being accountable is that extra help that we need by having to tell someone else what we've done that we've committed to makes you do the work. You'll actually end up doing the work. Pretty crazy, huh? So, if I would have had time last night, I wish last night I'd had 2 hours. Seriously, I had to change your lives last night because I had all the people in the room I wanted to talk to. I would have committed all 400 of those people, and I would have given them exactly what to do over the next 7 days, with a follow-up meeting. Even if I bought the room, and there would have been 800 people in that room. That's how easy it is when you know how to do it.
Yeah.
So.
But we can still
Bruno,
all commit
yes,
to
yes.
have 800
Yes,
people
you
in a
can.
room with you.
And we're going to do it. We're going to do it through the leaders, though. No, I've been talking with, I've never had my phone explode after a meeting like it exploded. I literally can't, I promise I will get back to you, okay? Hundreds of mentions and compliments to me. It was embarrassing. It's still going on. It's embarrassing to me. You would do a story mention, right? And I want to put it up, but it's like, damn, that Rick is a good-looking man. I can't put that stuff up. It's like, man, he's the most powerful, big-hearted, wonderful human being. And if I put that on my story, it makes me look like an ass, right? So I'm like picking through them and doing them, but I try to thank you when you do that. I appreciate it very much, by the way. It means a lot to me to travel for 45 hours on plane, to be here for 2.5 days. And feel like you're appreciated. That means a lot to me, and I want to thank you for that, seriously. It means a lot to me.
We all love you and we all are thankful for you being here.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are very unique. You're very loving, caring people, and I love and care for you too, and I'm here for you. And I promise you, we're going to dominate this thing together.
Yeah,
We're
we will.
going to make the world wake up and see Portugal. Okay? I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm half Portuguese already. Okay, I'm there. I just can't speak any. As long as I got Bia around me, I'll be fine now. So, this is what we do. If I'd have had last night, and I'm going to take it what I would have done last night, okay, and then we'll bring it down to this room. 400 people in the room. I would have got a commitment from everybody in that room. If they wanted to be rich, they only had to do one thing. Next week at the same time, in another facility, I've already got it booked. All you have to do is bring one person with you. Can you do that in 7 days if you want to be rich? Can you bring one person in 7 days if you want to be rich? to another meeting like this. If you do, we will have 800 to 1,000 people there. Now let me tell you what happens. 400 doesn't turn into 800. It turns into 1,200. 1200. Why? Because through the week, as you're bringing that one person, they are starting to bring one or two also with them. See? See what happens? You have a compounding effect through the 7 days. So you end up with over 1,000 people at that meeting. This, I gotta check, this is going off a lot. It is Easter, and it's only 3:30 in the afternoon where I live, so probably everybody. Yeah, Easter. It's all Easter wishes for my daughters. So, I love my family. Did you guys see my wallpaper?
I saw it.
That's my youngest grandson. Isn't he cute? He looks just like his mother, my daughter. When she was that age, she looked just like that without the ball cap. Look at those little eyes, he's a sweet little boy. Anyway, I take my family with me, so there you go. Okay, so, okay, are they getting it over here? Do we need to slow down for them, or?
They are talking about
I need you guys to understand everything I'm saying right now. Francisco, I need you guys to understand everything I'm saying. If you have a question, let's stop and have everybody covered together, okay? But stay with me if you will right now, okay? Because I'm trying to go through this. If there's questions, bring it up right now. Let's do the translation or get a question, get an answer. Are we good?
Yeah. Yeah, we were scheduling for this Thursday that event I just told.
For quantas pessoas?
100 people, and then next week 200, and then
Start with whatever you can manage and afford. Remember, see, let's say, I was talking with Ruben earlier, okay? I was talking with Ruben earlier. You guys, all right, everybody with me? You guys are you guys are at the most difficult part of your business, where you have fast growth and no money. Right?
yeah.
Everybody goes through it. You got to understand that.
Yeah.
You just have to figure it out somehow. You get cheaper venues that holds more people. You have everybody contribute, €5 or €6 or €8, whatever it takes to get to the meetings, right? But commitment is to look. Would you find a way to spend €20 a week on events if you were going to get rich?
yes.
Would you find a way? Borrow it from someone if you didn't have it? Do something, right? Make it work. I don't know what the number is, 5, 10, 15, 20 euro, whatever it is, right? But you have to make it work. But be conservative. Conservative means be careful with the money. Okay? Only do these things if I'm directing you on these types of things, or you're going to blow your money. You have to do it a certain way, or it will not work, and it will reverse on you and be a negative. Right? Everything depends on the commitment of the group you have now. So what I would do is I would not take 400 people. I would take 50 people or 100 people. People that you can count on, that you know deserve your time. That are the winners in the organization, the top 100, 100, 100, right? And then you challenge that 100 to go to 200, to go to 400, to go to 800. Translate.
O que importa realmente agora são as pessoas que estão a trabalhar a sério da nossa organização. O que o Rico está a dizer é não apostar já em eventos de 400 pessoas, mas começarmos por um número razoável, por exemplo 50 ou 100, dentro desses 100 duplicar para os 200, daí para os 400, daí para os 800 e por aí, daí por em diante. Mas fazendo sempre as coisas com seguimento lógico e com a cabeça nos números razoável, porque senão o que vai acontecer é que os eventos não vão ser assim tão proveitosos, mas vão ser pior para nós se não tiver uma taxa tão boa de resultado e de retenção. Porque o que vai acontecer é que vamos gastar dinheiro nesses eventos e não vão ser assim tão proveitosos como deviam se não fossem feitos da maneira certa. O que ele está a dizer é apostarmos sim em eventos, mas fazê-lo da maneira certa e dirigi-los da maneira certa. Porque senão vai ser tipo um obstáculo para nós, vai acabar por ser mau.
You understand? Yeah. This can be really simple, guys. But we need commitment out of people. And you as leaders as leaders, you need to get the commitment out of your people. Are you in or are you out? Period. That's it. It's business. It's not a hobby. It's not a play club. It's business. And I've got no time to spend with somebody who wants to play around. I want to play with serious businessmen and women. That's who I work with. And so you ask each of your people, is that you? Is that you? Is that you? You see, let's say that this is my little team. This is all I have right here, right? My little team. I would go to each one of you and I would say, are you in? Do you deserve my time? Will you commit 1 week from today, bringing one person to a meeting?
I'll be accountable.
Hey, you see what you do it with everybody. You get commitments from people, and then you make them account to you that yes, this is happening. You don't chase them. You call me through the week and you let me know how it's going, or you text me, message me. Let me know how it's going. I want to know yes or no. Are you going to have somebody there? Because if you do not have someone there, you are off my first team. Period. That's it. I still love you. I still support you. But you're not on my first team. You're now on my second team. You want to be on my first team? Win the next challenge. Okay? Win the next challenge. You guys understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes you have to be tough on people to love them. Tough love. How many times did I not want to discipline my children when they did something bad? They already felt bad about it, but I knew they had to be disciplined. I knew that they had to be. It's part of raising children, right? They have to have their boundaries. They got to know what's good and what's bad, in life, right? Same thing in business, guys. When a new person comes into your organization, they're like your child because they don't know anything about the business. You're teaching and mentoring them how to think, teaching and mentoring them on what to do, teaching them and mentoring them on what to say. They're like a new baby. So why do you think that when you recruit somebody and then you just ignore them, that somehow they're just going to learn how to run a race when they still cannot even crawl on the floor? That's what networkers do, and that's a problem. When you bring somebody into the business, you look at them as your business partner in a multi-million-dollar business. That's how you look at them, that's how you talk to them, and that's how you treat them. Now, if there's anybody who didn't understand that, Bia, you've got to make this known, okay?
Todos perceberam?
Sim.
Foi?
We're
Percebeste?
good? If not, then, don't, please ask, okay? Don't, sometimes ego, okay? Sometimes they feel bad, so make sure that everyone's understanding these key points that I'm making right here, okay? And the key point is this. You need to challenge people individually, not in a group. I'm challenging you as a group, right? Because this is not my home team, it's your home team. What you as leaders do is you need to go around, Ruben, you gotta ask every single person that's on your team, are you gonna do that? Are you gonna do that? Do you commit to that? If not, tell me right now. I still love you. I'm still gonna work with you, but I'm creating my first team. Okay? My first string team, as we call it in the US. Okay? And if you're not willing to do it, then sit on the bench for a while. And when you're ready to commit, then we'll do it. That way you know what you've got. That way your expectations are not wrong. See, if you've got 40 people and you expect those 40 people to each bring one person, but you haven't made each one of them commit, and only 10 of them do it, and you're expecting 80 people at the meeting and you've got 60, it's a negative for you. You're saying, that doesn't work. What Rick said doesn't work. It works if you commit people, challenge them, then make them accountable to you for the activity that you've challenged them on. Bia?
Fazer desafios às pessoas e fazer com que elas se comprometam a dizer-nos ou nós cumpriram esses desafios para que nós continuemos a desafiá-las, não havia trabalhar com elas.
Okay. You guys want to go fast track, right? Fast track. Fast track means do things fast. Succeed on the fast track. You can only be on the fast track if you, if your commitments are large, okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with a slow track if that's all the time you have. Because some people work one job, 2 jobs, they only have so much time per week, right, to work Kuvera. And that's okay. But in that time, if you tell me you're going to work 8 hours a week on Kuvera, if you're going to work with me, you better work 8 hours a week, and I better know that you work 8 hours a week. You with me?
Yeah.
Be a strong leader through love and with your heart, and they'll understand. You're doing it for them. Tough love. When you're tough on your children, you're doing it because you love them, right? Look at it the same way. Always lead with your heart, guys. That's what that's what I try to teach wherever I go. You know, it's all about the heart to me. All about the heart. You know, there's not one person in this room that wouldn't love to be in my financial situation. There's not one person in this room who wouldn't like to wake up every morning and not think about money. There's not one person in this room that wouldn't like to be full-time at this, traveling the world, standing where I am, talking to people, and feeling confident about doing that. Right? Right. So here's the deal. I'm going to help you be that person. And I'm not stopping until it's done. I'm not quitting. And if you know me, ask Anthony. I never give up. I never quit. I always stay the course. And when I say I'm going to do something, I always do it. So when I tell you I'm going to do something, just plan it's done. You don't have to worry about it. It's just the way it is. Now, that's not that way in business very much, right? But it's the way I was taught. It was the way I was raised by my dad and my grandfather. Is that my name, Rowberry, was something to be proud of, and that it was the generations of Rowberries that acted a certain way, so that we were perceived, our family, as being people of honest and integrity, right? Honesty and integrity. And so I didn't want to let down my father and grandfathers and great-grandfathers and all the people who had sacrificed for me to have the things I want. And so I always protect my name. And so when I looked at getting into Kuvera, the first thing I look about is, what would this do to my family name? Is it worth the risk? And because I saw the owners as men and Annette as a woman of high integrity, I was willing to say yes to them. Number one, for that reason. Number two, because I wanted a give back project that I could make a difference. And number three, I truly do love network marketing. Look at this. You know what I do with my other businesses? I get a report. I read a report. Yeah, it looks like I made some money. Cool. You know, this is fun. This is engaging. This is, I mean, I love you guys. I truly do. I mean, I truly love you. I care for you, every one of you. I want you to be successful. I want you to have the things that you want to have in life, and I'm here to help you with it. That's the only reason I'm here. And so I want you to commit to me. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I've traveled a long ways to be here, and I'll do it over and over again, okay? If I feel like you're committed to me. Because I will prove that I will 5 and 10 times the commitment back to you. So that's the best business offer you'll probably ever have in your life. Because I'm the guy, as much anybody in the entire industry, nobody knows any more about what I'm talking to you about than I do. And so I'm here with you in a small gathering room. People say, Rick, you shouldn't be in a room smaller than 5,000 people. I said, that's not fun. There's no fun in 5,000, right? There's fun in 5, in 10. I've always been better in the smaller groups. Always been better. Because that's where we can talk and dream together, and we can create something like this into something like this. And that's what's fun. Now, we are a team, okay? And you are my downline, even though I don't really have downline, upline. You know, I call it downline because, yeah, you're my downline, right? But I don't do ranks, I don't pay that kind of stuff, right? So we look here. Each one of you, though, have your own business inside of the team, right? And you have to pay attention to that as well. So you support the team. You do that by building your personal team. If everybody builds their personal team, the overall team is successful, right?
Yes.
So what you've got to do is you've got to say, look, and I'm not saying you got to do the work for you and you got to do the work for you. I'm saying you do the work for your business. You do the work for your business. You do the work for your business. But we're all doing it together with a common goal of having an event. of having a goal that we hit together as a full team, right? You're gonna hit your individual team goals, and then we're gonna hit the overall team goal. And that's what we do. It's all about increasing your activity. So I asked you, how many of you were willing to increase your activity? And you all said, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. Bien, you understand. Increase your activity. I asked you
Quem é que
guys-
está comprometido e disposto a aumentar a sua atividade e a sua ação?
Okay. What does that mean?
O que é que isso quer dizer?
Work hard.
That's too general. It's got to be specific. It's got to be specific. What does that mean? That means that what you're doing every day right now, you got to put a number on it. How many invitations do I do every day or every week? And starting tomorrow, day one, Monday,
Yeah.
most important day one you've had so far, I'm going to do double what I've ever done before. Not in a week, but every day. You don't divide activities up into weeks, months, or years. Activities is a daily, day one experience. If you say I'm going to give this many in the week, guess what happens? By Friday, you haven't done anything. And on Friday, you try to do the whole week's work. Every single day, do some kind of income-producing activity, and you'll get rich. You'll always be here. You're never going to feel like you have to leave. Every single day, do some income-producing activity, which is an invitation. Every day you have to ask at least one person, minimum, to look at the program. And when you ask them to look at the program, what do we tell them? Where is the message? If I want to look at Cuvera right now in Portugal, where would I go? You say, Rick, look at the message. I say, okay, where? What do I do? First question you got to be able to answer. See, you can't answer, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's back up on this. Everything that you have to do more than once, you never do it more than once. You record it. The presentations, the information in the presentation should be recorded, and you send them to a link on a video or a link on an audio recording.
Yeah.
That everybody uses and everybody does. Now, individual teams may want to do their own. Personalities, you know, and you like the way you do it better than they do. I get that, okay? But it needs to be an automated thing. You cannot build fast if you got 3 people you've got to contact to give a 40-minute presentation on the phone. Doesn't work. You should never give presentations. What you should do is send them to the presentation, video presentation, automated PowerPoint presentation, something. So they get the information, so then all you're doing is answering questions and converting them to the message. Simple, huh? That's how you build fast.
Temos que enviar essa informação.
If you guys are sitting around a coffee shop giving presentations for 2 hours, you're doing it wrong. That's good in the beginning, but you'll never get bigger than this. You'll go like this. You'll never grow big. Duplicatable system. I'm a system builder. Why do you think 300,000 people came into this? Because I'm a system builder. Do you think I gave every one of those presentations?
Tu vais acabar.
No. I did a call every single night for the first 6 months. I did an opportunity call. I did all the calls in the entire company every night, and some days I did 3 and 4 a day. Opportunity calls. I had 30, 40, 50, 60 people on it, right? And we put in 50,000 people the first few months. That's because I was doing call after call after call. Everybody was sending them to me because I was developing the message, see? Once we developed it, then I recorded the call, and then we sent everybody to me doing the recording. And then I didn't have to do the live calls anymore. And then I did my Saturday call every week like I do now. See how simple it is? Always a strategy, always a plan, business plan, right? So, here we find ourselves in an exciting place where your lives could literally be changed so fast your head, you can't even believe it. Anthony Napolitano was making $500, $1,000 a month, and I jumped into business with him. And he went just like this because he worked hard and he learned. It's really fun for me because Anthony's very smart, But when he's on stage, there's very little that comes out of his mouth that hasn't come out of my mouth into his ears first. What he's good at doing is mirroring or mimicking, let me get a better word for you, following people who have what he wants very well. He does very good at that. He's followed my mentorship very good for 2 or 3 years, and now Anthony mentors me on many things, you see. Because everybody can mentor everyone else. It's just that the core values of networking and my success track record, he leaned on that until he had his own. Pretty simple, right? You guys can do the same. When I come into town, you put people in front of me, I'm telling you, I mean, you got just a little bit of a taste. Did you like my style? Did you like this when I was on stage,
Yes.
the kind of how I handled it?
Yes.
Yes.
If I have time and I'm organized, guys, there's not, I can recruit 100% of everybody in every room I'm there with. But I never did that stuff here. But you need to see me do that kind of stuff. I can convert people. I can get them to say yes. You remember when I started out last night and I said, I'm talking to the person in the room that has the least amount of faith in themselves, who has maybe the least amount of experience in doing this, the least amount of belief. Because you know why I'm talking to that person? If I get them, I get the room. Right?
Yes.
If I get the weakest person in the room, I get everybody. So my presentation is tuned to that person believing that they can do it. And if they, remember my first, I got up on a whiteboard, didn't I, when I was here the first time, or no? Did I go through the 3 and you do this and the business card handout system and those kinds of things?
Yes, yes.
Look, that business card handout system, guys, if nobody ever did it, it'll close everybody in the room every time, though, because they believe they can do it. They believe they can do it. They say, can you do this?
Yeah.
And say, if you want to make more money, look at this, or throw the card away, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're doing it with an email or a message or something like that, you send them a link. You say, if you want to make more money, click the link. If not, just delete it. It's the same thing, right? They cannot delete it if you tell them to delete it. Remember, curiosity kills them. That's how you close a meeting. You go through all of the presentation materials. You do the great presentation that you do. You need to shorten them up. Always shorten your opportunity presentation. They should never go longer than 40 minutes, ever. No matter what it is, ever. That's with everything, 40 minutes max. Because the time after the meeting is the most important time you have. If you keep them too long, they leave too fast. See, when the meeting's over is when you really start talking to people. When you really convert the people is the meeting after the meeting. See? If the opportunity meeting goes too long, you lose them. You lose it. Do not go longer than 40 to 45 minutes. If you can do it in 30 minutes, all you're doing, remember, you're not trying to sell them anything. You're just trying to get some information in their head so that you can have another conversation with them about it. Meetings is not, you do not do meetings to sign up people. You do meetings to inform people, to give them information. It's always a one-on-one business, always one-on-one. How many times have you done a meeting and you stood up there and you handed out papers and you had 50 people signing up at the same time? That just doesn't happen very often. Okay? It usually is each of those people were invited by a different person, all have different questions before they sign and say yes. And so that meeting after the meeting is the most important thing that you have, right? So opportunity meetings have a tendency to go too long. And be careful with that. Just be careful, okay? I promise you that if you don't agree with me right now, that you will at some point. There are some things that are just truth, okay? Short opportunity meetings, and if you're going to combine training with it, you have a 10 or 15-minute break. That's where you convert and get people signed up on your laptops and your phones, whatever, right? You're signing them up afterwards. Hey, Deborah. And then what you do is then what happens is the people who are there for the first time, they end up staying for the training. You know what the most powerful recruiting tool is? Your training, not the opportunity meeting. You'll have more people sign up through, hi, how are you guys? You'll have more people sign up through the training than you will in the opportunity meeting, just so you know. Sorry. Did you guys, are you understanding me okay?
Yeah.
I love it, man. You guys are making this, you're making this really fun for me. Speaking to English. Questions? Yes.
Do you have the strategy
Strategy.
of the massive follow-up?
The strategy on the follow-up?
Yeah, but because they haven't, okay? For this week, what your think about the strategy about the massive follow-up?
Okay, you got 24 hours and you're dead, okay? If you don't do it in 24 hours, forget it. Follow-up has to happen immediately. Let me tell you why, okay? Some people can stay excited for an hour. They're in the meeting, they got the day, they're screaming, day one, I'm excited, right? They go home 2 hours later and cannot remember why they were excited.
True.
True?
True.
They can't remember. And by morning, they don't care. So how important is follow-up? The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. All the money is in the follow-up. And the follow-up has to happen immediately. And the way you do that is this, okay? After the meeting, you're standing outside, you're having a smoke, you're talking, whatever it is, right? Whoever, you're with those people. And you're saying, what did you like best
Yeah.
about tonight? Never ask them, did you like anything? Always ask them a question where the only answer is yes. Or something you want, okay? What was the what did you like best about tonight? Listen, wait for the answer. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up and listen, right?
Yeah.
Ask a question, be patient, wait for the answer. Because until you let them talk, you will not know what to do. They say, what I liked best was the stock and options, and you're thinking Forex, right? I like Equity Pro, they're saying, and you're thinking Forex. Or they say, I'm really excited about crypto, and you're thinking, Apex. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to ask them a question. Okay, I'm going to give you a closing tool right now. We're going to do this. I'm going to tell you how to close every person out. This is how I do it, okay? It's called 1, 2, 3. Okay. What I do is after they come to a meeting or after I send them, it's so important that everybody understand every word of what I'm saying here. I'm going to talk very, very slowly. And if there's any question about anybody in this room not understanding me, you translate, okay? We said that inviting is important, right?
Yes.
Inviting people to look at the message. When they look at the message, then what do? This is the hardest part of the business, right? The hardest part is once they've seen the presentation, what do? What do you say at that point? That's the hardest part. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what to say. Every single time, okay? You use yourself as an example. You say, first of all, you say, what did you like best about what you saw there tonight? They tell you, you say, this is how I evaluate, or how I thoroughly, what's the word for evaluate? Evaluate?
How I see this.
This is what I do when I look at a new project.
Yeah.
I look at it and I rate myself either a 1, a 2, or a 3. 1, I'd love to be a customer of it. It's absolutely perfect. I'd love to buy it as a customer. 2, I love it so much I'd like to buy it and I want to share it and become a rep. 3, I'm not interested at all because I think I'm okay right now. So, Ruben, asking you the question, I'm going to ask Bia the question. I'm asking Bia the question. Bia, after what, so far, what you've seen, the way I've just explained it to you, would you consider yourself a 1, a 2, or a 3?
A 1 and a 2.
1 is I want to be a customer only. 2 is I want to be a customer and a rep.
Ah, no,
And 3, I'm not interested at all.
2.
Okay, so you feel like you're a 2.
2.
You know what to do now, right? You say, great. Let me show you what it takes to get that started. See how simple that is? And guess what? Okay, now I want you to say that you're a 3. A 3 is I'm not interested at this time. They're not saying no to you. Remember what I said about no's, right? Turn no's into yeses. No, you get paid for no's, right?
Yeah.
So I say, okay, right now, so far, as you've looked at this, 1 being you're interested in maybe being a customer. Number 2, you're interested in maybe being a customer and sharing it and making money with other people. And 3, you're just not interested at all. Are you at this time, would you rate yourself as a 1, 2, or 3?
I would rate myself as a 3.
Okay, so you're not interested right now.
Yeah. I'm
Perfect.
not.
Fantastic. You know, people are either interested or they're not right now, but we know that a lot of people are interested. Give me 3 names of people that I can do exactly what I just did with you, and then and I just appreciate it very much. And they will give you the names because
they
she
feel
feels guilty for
Yeah.
being a 3.
Yeah.
Now I turn 1 no into 3 potential yeses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I go to those 3, and I said, you know, Bia, I just showed her some issues concerning money and how to get ahead with your finances, and she asked me to contact you and get you the same information that she had. I just wanted to get you that information. You may or may not be interested, but as a favor to Bia, would you be willing to look at it? Pretty simple stuff, right?
Yeah.
I did that fast, I know. Let me do it again. Bia says she's a 3. What does that mean? I'm not interested right now. I might be next week or 2 weeks. And see, we always follow up every 2 or 3 weeks. It's called drip. We drip on it. Because her situation may change, right? She may have just had a real hectic day with kids, with school, with her partner, you know, with friends, with something, right? Just a bad time for her to even think about doing anything. But it might change tomorrow, next week. But if I push her, she will never listen to me again. So when she says I'm a 3, accept it. She's a 3. Don't try to talk her out of being a 1. Don't try to talk her out of being a 2. And don't try to talk her out of being a 3. Are you all with me on that?
Yeah.
You understand? It's very, very important, or you will never get referrals, and eventually you'll run out of people to talk to. So you want to make this a really nice experience for Bia. We've given her some information. She's looked at it. I've said, you know, this is how I rate myself when I first start looking at things. A 1, I look at maybe I'll be a customer. 2, I want to be a customer and maybe a rep. And 3, I'm just not really interested right now because I think I'm okay. Right now, on the information you've seen so far, how would you rate yourself? A 1, a 2, or a 3? And Bia says, a 3. You know what I say? Fantastic. That's it. I don't say, oh my God, are you kidding me? You know, I say, people say, why? You know, here's what the loser says, right? Bia says, I think I'm a 3 right now. Why? All this time I've spent with you. Don't you get it? You know, people do this, especially with their friends and with their brothers and sisters and family. Man, they will never listen to you ever again. But if I say to Bia, hey, fantastic, all right, great. Hey, listen, give me the names of 3 people that I can get them the same information, see if they're interested or not, and I'll handle it the same way I handled here, okay? And I hand them a card with 1, 2, and 3 name, email, or phone number on it. I say, would you fill? Okay, I'm going to teach you guys something, okay? I've trained over 100 international companies how to do trade shows. Let me show you something. Watch this. Have you all been to a fair or a trade show where they're selling something and they've got booths set up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you how to make a fortune with Kuvera at these trade shows and fairs. You'll book every one throughout all of Europe when you're done listening. Okay? Now, do you remember the business card handout system I had?
Yeah.
Remember, it has a link to the message, right? That's the message. And either watch that or throw the card away, right?
Yeah.
Okay? I got a card sitting on my table.
Yeah.
I'm behind the table. People are walking by and looking at the thing that says Kuvera behind me, you know, financial fitness, right, all that kind of stuff. But what they're doing is they're doing this. because they don't want you, hey, grabbing them, right? Because people chase them. Never beg, never annoy, never chase anybody. Help people. So they're coming by and they're saying, and so you're just kind of sitting back there chilling, right? You're just like, and you kind of look out the side of your eye, and they look at you and say, hey, have you seen this? Do not look up until they come to the table. They cannot keep walking if you don't look up. Right? If I even glance up there, phew, it's like that. But they're walking by and says, hey, have you seen this? 90% of the time, they have to come over to the table. It's human nature. They'll come over to the table. When they come over to the table, as soon as they get to the table, I take the card. I said, a lot of people want to make money. Look me in the eye right now. A lot of people are trying to make money. If you're interested, just go to that link right there. If not, just throw the card away. Have a great day. You can hand thousands of cards out a day. Boom! You're rich. Okay? Now that works. It works. But you got to understand body language. You got to understand that to get them over to the table so that you can hand them the card, you have to go like this. And you don't look up until they're next to the table. You with me?
Yes.
I just made you $1 million because that works. And with our business card handout system, where the message is on the card, it's a link on the card, right? Or a phone number, whatever it is. Go to this link on this card if you want to find out how to make money through this money-making system, or if you don't want to make money, just throw the card away. Have a great day. That's it. You don't ask them for their name. You don't try to sell them anything. You don't push them. You don't pressure them. Nothing. Let me tell you what happens. At trade shows and fairs, if you handle it that way, they will come back around and talk to you. Because they're curious. They're going to look on their phone. They're going to go to the link. They're going to watch that phone. And they're going to want to talk to you. And you'll have people coming back around talking to you. If you're kind, if you're nice, and if they know that you care about them. Simple. And I am the only person in this industry that does that I know of. Because I didn't learn it inside network marketing. I learned this in some of my other businesses. Okay? Is that pretty good stuff?
Yes.
All right. That one will make you a fortune. So now what you want to do is you want to look around and see about the spring festivals, right? The summertime festivals or trade shows or any kind of a place where you have booths set up where people sell things, right? Everywhere. And you get yourself a little booth. You take turns doing it. You have 5 people going together, 10 people going together, and you take times. Each of you takes some different times, and you do that. And you do it all day long. You can hand out thousands of cards. See, when I do the business card handout system, people are wondering, who do I hand it out to, right? I just told you how to make millions of dollars in the business. I literally, you will. It's big time. It's big money, okay? Because it translates into a multiplication system called network marketing. It's a pretty simple thing. Okay? All right. We're getting pretty close to finish time here. Yeah, we need to get out of here because it's late in the neighborhood and stuff. What? Any questions that you guys might have for me?
Rick, I want to-
Guys, if I could do a 4-hour or an 8-hour training with you sometimes. Remember last night? I told you if I had 2 hours, I'd change your life. Truthfully. I mean, I'm just barely getting started right now on teaching you. I can collapse the time frame for you to be successful from 5 years to 3 months just by spending time with you. And because rather than you to go out there and experiment, try to figure it out, I'll just tell you exactly what to do and exactly what to say, and it works. There's value in that, right? Value in that. Any questions?
Rick, I wanted to ask you about the woman program you told me because
Yes.
we are a lot in here and we want to hear about it. We were supposed to
About
talk
the women's
about,
program, yeah. I
yeah.
changed my mind. I don't care about that anymore.
No.
Women? Come on, guys. I mean, what? Come on, what's the deal here?
We normally you go to sleep after before the flight,
Yeah.
3 hours maybe.
Yeah, I have to go to the airport at 3 o'clock. Yeah, if I can get, I'm gonna get 1 or 2 hours sleep, it'd be good.
Okay, let's go.
Well, just give me a second. Let me finish this. The women's see, he tried to cut the women out. Ruben,
Tipo, eu acabei de fazer uma pergunta bem
he did that because he didn't
importante.
understand what was going on.
Yeah, you didn't
No,
get it.
I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you. Okay, I believe that women are the foundation of network marketing, not men. Okay, women. There's many more women in network marketing than there's men, believe it or not. But about 65-70% are women. So women are better at talking to each other, communicating with each other, and they're better at networking. Okay, but they have other problems. Okay, drama drives me crazy. Emotions, jealousy between women. I have 2 daughters and 2 sons. I know the difference. If my son had a problem with somebody, they fought at school, and the next day they were best friends. Okay? If my daughters had an argument with another person, 20 years later they still hate them. Now, I don't know why that is, okay, but the women, girls have a tendency to hold a grudge, so to speak, right? This is how, and I've had women's programs in Quevedo, guys, 5 years, right? Let me tell you the upside, let me tell you the downside, okay? The downside is there becomes jealousy about who should be leading, who should be talking, doing those sorts of things. So I know how to solve that problem.
You lead
I'm
it.
going to do it. I'm going to lead it. I'm going to lead it worldwide, okay? Because we have a lot of women's organizations out there, but they have a tendency to be like local, like this, like local things like this, where you guys know each other. But when you get different cultures, different countries involved, see, one thing I realize is in Europe, you guys have all killed each other at one time or another in history. You've been at war with everybody, right? The French and the British, the blah, 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 you know, all this kind of stuff. And so, believe it or not, there are some underlying tones there. The Irish and the English. I mean, it's just all kinds of things. And I don't understand any of it. I'm an American. We're only 200 years old. We don't have any history, right? But if I can lead the charge on this, if I can lead in this and help bridge the gap between the different cultures of the different countries inside the women's movement, because every country wants what you want. They want that. They just don't know how to do it correctly. And so I made the commitment when I was in Florida to the Florida team. I had a lot of talk with the ladies one-on-one about doing exactly what we're going to do right now. And last night I was going to talk about it and I forgot. I started talking about it and then I forgot. And I got done. I went, you got to be kidding me. I want to do a call. First of all, we need to do a call. Here's the challenges, language barriers. We have a lot of different women from different countries on what language do we do, right? You know how important it is that you learn English? I'm making my point right now, right? If everybody in the world spoke English, I'd have 5,000 women on a call every week. And it would be explosive and exciting for new women to join, right? So we have to get the language problem figured out. And I've got some translating ideas that I'm working on right now, okay? However, I'm still going to do the international thing. Maybe once a month we do a global women's call. But I want to do some individual Portugal calls to help build the program locally right here while I'm doing it with the other countries. So
Yeah, we need
the
it.
first thing that they need to understand is having a man behind a woman's program will be new to them. But I can get away with it.
Okay.
I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
I'm the master distributor, and I have the respect of them, okay? So I can say, this is what I want to do because I care about the women of our program, and I want to support you. And they've all asked for my support at different times. But this is the way it'll happen. When we do a call, say Portuguese call, okay? We do a Portugal call. I'm going to set the time up in the call with you guys when you want to do it, and then I will lead the call when it first starts.
Okay.
I'll say, I'm so excited about the women's movement in Portugal, and I'm here to support it 100%. And tonight we've got on this person and that person that's going to be speaking to you. And I just want to shut up right now and I want to listen to what they have to say. And that's the way I'm going to handle it. Because as a man, you got to know when to shut up. As a man, you need to know when to stop talking, right? And I know that. So that's kind of the feel for what it is. But more than that, we got to have the input. I want to start teaching you guys what the women's program in Quevedo is all about. You know, what are the important things for you to focus on? Why is it important for women to have that voice? And I'll bring on some experts that are women that have progressed on already, that understand this, that will be able to talk to you about it as a woman, rather than me as a man trying to talk about it. All I'm going to do is set it up, give it the credibility of me, pushing behind it, and it'll work. I promise you, it'll work.
Ok.
When I get behind it, it just works. Okay, so I've decided to do that, and I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. But men, okay, understand something. The more women that you have in your organization, the more money you will make. That's what men understand. Okay, it's the truth, because they're very good at what they do. They're better, much better networkers. They communicate better with each other than we do. Men have a tendency to be a little more loners, be kind of on their own out there doing their thing. They're better team players as long as the drama stays out of it. Women, listen to me. I'm talking to you like my daughters now, okay? Like I've talked to my daughters 100 times. You need to root for each other. See, men have a whole nother set of problems. It's not like they have a whole nother set of problems, but specifically, the women have a tendency to sometimes fall into the drama category just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about, though, right? And so you need to be aware of that and stay out of it. If you let drama into your business is done. Just understand that. Men or women. And believe me, there's plenty of drama men, too. We okay with that?
Yes.
Look, I say the tough things that no one else can say, okay? I can get away with it, unfortunately, but I'm not comfortable saying it. But I just want you to know that I believe in empowering women. And where women have kind of come into a man's world in business, right? And we understand that, and all of us acknowledge it. It's not that way anymore. This is a co-equal business world that we live in right now. But I just want to make sure that the last leg up is there for the women of Cuvera. Because I want them to feel 100% co-equal, and I want to feel like they're leading the charge in this company. When I see a flyer, like I did in Florida, there's 8 people on the flyer and they're all men, that's not okay with me. So there's plenty of women that could have talked.
Yeah.
But the guy who put it together wasn't even thinking. It's just a guy's club, right? See, that's the way they think.
Yeah.
Some guys.
Yeah.
By me empowering the women, it changes those guys. Because I can call anybody in this company and they will do whatever I tell them to do. Okay? And I told him, I said it was Kane from Toronto. Kane's just like this man's man, And so he puts all of his guys on there when there's several women that would do unbelievable jobs. And, for me last night, I'm sitting there after going to Florida, right? Having this male-dominated, testosterone meeting with lots of great women there. Just very few of them spoke. To last night, seeing all of you come up on that stage, it did my heart so much good you have no idea. I've always hoped that Cuvera would be that, but worried that it could not be because it's an investment type, Wolf of Wall Street kind of thing, you know what I mean? What I have learned is there's a lot of tough women in Cuvera. Tough, committed, strong women, and I want to make you stronger, and I want you to know that we've got your support, and so that's why we'll do it, okay? All right?
Ok, Rick, thank you.
All right,
Olha,
guys.